The Raptors battle back and pull off an impressive win in Memphis. 126-113 is the final. I'm Randy Urban, and this is Raptors Night Cap. Tonight, it's a pleasure to be joined by Amy Audibert, Paul Jones, and Leo Rautins. Amy, I'm going to start with you. The Raptors had a hard time keeping Memphis out of the paint in that first half. 42 points in the paint they allowed. How did the defense turn it around?
I thought they were just really super aggressive. It was interesting at halftime. If you went on Twitter, everyone was not too happy about rim protection, but I thought it's not just rim protection, right? It's the point of attack. It's the rotating. I mean, this Memphis, these guards are extremely quick and explosive, and they are intentional about getting to the paint. But I thought in the second half, it was everyone kind of just picked it up. It wasn't one guy, but there was a bit more intensity on the ball. I thought their rotations were sharper. They played the gaps better. But yeah, they outscored Memphis 26-20 in terms of the paint column in the second half. So what an excellent job by the Raptors to adjust their game plan and get it done.
Jonesy, what adjustments did you see?
Their defense, I mean, they held Memphis to 42 points in the second half, and they did a good job. You know, we talk about that, the paint, but just rebounding, making it difficult, contesting shots, the things that they weren't doing with that regularity. I mean, they held Memphis to 7 of 21 in the fourth quarter. I thought they did a terrific job. And then I got the feeling that they were fueled by their own offense. You know, Achua had a terrific third quarter. Gary Trent Jr. had a great fourth quarter. And, you know, we know it shouldn't be like this, but the nature of the beast is you see the ball go in the hoop at one end, it piques your energy and it provides you with a lift at the other end. And their defense just got a lot better. I like the way the game went in terms of, it was a slow start, but they hung around. That's what you do on the road. You hang around. I mean, that game felt like they were down 20-25 at times. And yet they were able to hang around, just keep chipping away, hanging around, and then they lean them out at the end. I mean, they won that thing going away, outscoring them by 35-21 in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, Leo, it's funny. Jonesy mentioned, you know, you get an offensive output by someone, and it was from someone that it was a little bit unexpected, and that kind of propelled them, it felt like, when Precious Achiuwa got going there in that third quarter.
Well, you know, it's funny, Randy. I mean, you know, Jonesy, you know, Amy, you guys played the game. Sometimes a change of environment, sometimes just where you are makes a huge difference. And he comes back to Memphis, right? And you're comfortable. It feels good. And the whole thing would to me, when I look at Precious, it's don't overthink the game. Remember, even in the preseason, I mean, he had some really good games in the preseason. Why? Because it was all in you when he was just playing. All of a sudden, he's thinking more. He's getting bogged down. All he did was come out and just play. Hey, I got my people here. I'm going to go out and play. And he had a great game. So hopefully that's going to spur him on to some more games. Just go out there. Like, you got your shot taken. You got to drive, take it. Be aggressive defensively. Go after the ball in the glass. It's a simple game. And hopefully, again, we get to see what he's capable of doing, and we'll see more of it.
Leo, just piggybacking on that a little bit more, just how important is confidence? Because that's what we were saying here at home, that he just looked like he was playing. It was the preseason all over again. Just describe to the people at home why confidence is so important in the game of basketball, because it can literally make you look like at times you don't know what you're doing. You haven't played the game.
Hey, confidence, a lack of it can make you look like it's bad, can make you look slow, can make you look not aggressive. What do they say? It's the slipperiest surface of them all, right? And it's so easy to lose, but at the same time, how quickly you can get it back. It can be one game like this, one quarter like this, that can change the course of the next month of the season and maybe more for a player like Precious. So confidence is it really is a funny thing. And especially when you have injuries become a part of it, right? I know coming back from injuries, you feel really good. And next game, you feel like, man, my feet don't work. I don't know what's going on here. It's like I never played before. And for the person watching, they don't understand that. They're just judging you. But when you're going through it, it's not easy. So I'm just hoping that this is something that he can build off of and play off of and really maybe turn the corner going forward.
You know, Randall, the other thing I was going to say on Leo's point about confidence, confidence is a zero-sum entity. In a basketball game, I always say this, it's like money in a poker game. When one team has a lot, the other team has little. and there's only so much to go around. And in the second half, the Raptors took that from Memphis. They did. You could see Memphis pressing. I mean, Dylan Brooks was making threes, and all of a sudden he misses one. The Raptors go down and score. They're squeezing it a little. They figure they got to come back and score. There's quick shots. There's bad shots. There's bad possessions, and it just feeds into what the Raptors doing. They're thinking like, okay, we're getting stops now, and you guys aren't, and it just swings the tide and the tenor of the game.
Yeah, Amy, Lil Wayne said confidence is a stain you can't wipe off.
You're How did you know I'm a Wheezy girl, huh? Listen, and to your point too, and we all know confidence is earned, right? You get in the gym, you get the reps up, and I thought him going 3 for 3 from the three in that quarter was big, because if you watch Precious, especially warming up, he's always getting his threes off. Like, he's feeling good about that, and I thought that was big time for him. That's something that he's been wanting to kind of showcase and do and improve. And tonight, I mean, he turned the game around in that third quarter, and 9 of those points were from long range. So you talk about defenses and game planning, right? That just adds a whole nother layer and element now.
But Amy, you were there. I was going to ask you too about Trent Jr., another guy you can't wipe the confidence off at any moment. And he was just awesome in that fourth quarter too. He was, but and I would say, I thought the Raptors did a great job of going to the hot hands, right? Like they went to Gary, and Gary creates for himself, but they set him up nicely too. And that's what good teams do, right? Somebody has their moments, and then someone else is hanging in. And I thought Freddie was very steady, right? Like he was Freddie at the end there, and that was huge too. I thought, and on the other guy I'm going to say, Randy, is Yuta. I mean, the guy only played 14 minutes, but he got in there, and his length, especially on the defensive end, I think they really like him. Like, I kept looking over at the bench, and every time he had his hand on a ball or he was in a lane, he impacted the game, and his stat line was decent. What was it? 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, two blocks. Pretty nice, but I think he impacted the game a little bit more than that. And this team welcomed him back tonight. I think they really like having him out there with them.
Yeah, Leo, stats don't really tell the story when you tell it. Right.
And look, another guy, I thought we didn't see Chris Boucher, and that's where Nick took those minutes and I think gave them to Utah. And he's a guy that, from an energy standpoint, he really stays in his lane. He'll play defense. He'll block shots. He'll run the floor. He'll take layups when they come to him. Those kinds of things. And he's a terrific teammate in that sense. And, Memphis is a place where he used to play as well. So he's got a little bit of extra juice there. I thought Malachi Flynn did a nice job in limited minutes tonight. Again, playing with that energy, punching into gaps, playing defense, trying to guard guys, taking shots when they came to him. It was only 26 points off the bench tonight, but I thought they were really, really impactful in their minutes.
Leo, just going back to Watanabe, what kind of role do you see him playing on this team going forward? How many minutes is he getting? Where is he getting them, and at what position?
Well, I mean, you saw his role. That's what he does, right? I mean, he's just going to come in and scrap. And I think the minutes really depend on the game, number one. And two, is he making shots? Is he getting opportunities? Because the effort, the consistency as far as how he's going to play is going to be there. The key for him, and we were saying the same thing last year, boy, if he could just make that shot, make that shot, well, he's got to make that shot. So that's the next thing, okay? He's going to give you some extra possessions. He's going to give you some extra rebounds. He's going to run the floor, but can he make some shots? And his minutes will depend a lot on that, right? You can give him a base amount of minutes because of the effort, but to get more minutes, you have to be more productive. So, the good thing is he's not afraid to take his shots. He's not afraid to get his looks, but he's got to start making them. And again, this is his first game back, so no one's going to worry about a miss or make now. But as he keeps playing, gets more comfortable, that's going to be important.
And Amy, you were there. So tell me, what was the reaction about that or to that block? That was crazy.
Well, I mean, in the one quarter, it was very loud. Everywhere else, it wasn't. Yeah. No, this place, and I would say it went the other way too, right? Like Memphis did some pretty fun things as well. And so the energy was definitely went both ways. It was a fun night. And of course, I'm a little bit biased. It ended up on the better side for us, but
I want to talk more, Amy, about Scotty Barnes, because, he was just very solid, I thought, tonight. And I want to talk about something that doesn't get really talked about a lot. That's footwork. When you look at some of the buckets he made, you see that his footwork is elite.
Yeah, and I mean, I love for Scotty. To me, he's patient when he catches, especially back to the basket, or just really simple, like one jab or like a close step into a shot. It's fun to, and I think it's partly too because he is so long. It's nicer to watch. His stride is so big and long. But the other thing I would say about Scotty is, you look down the fourth quarter, I look at the court and he's in a stance and he's guarding Ja Morant one-on-one. Like that's to me, I think I'm so impressed with not only the willingness to do it and the want to do it, but he's pretty effective too. Like, he's incredible. And I mean, we always talk about Scotty's ceiling and nobody has any ideas. And for me, it's moments like that. We see him defend bigs. We see him step up. And this was the first time I've seen Ja Morant live. And I was, wow, the TV never does him justice of how explosive he is. And so when we talk about Scotty and his offensive footwork, he's so sound defensively as well.
Jonesy, just about less than a minute to go. I thought that play from Scotty where he was that one-man fast break and he kind of slowed down and took the ball up and dunked it. Like that's, to me, that's when you get really excited. You see plays like that.
Oh, well, that's an understanding of the game. And you see it. And, you know, you talk about, he goes into the post. He recognizes he's got a smaller defender on him or a guy he can take advantage of, goes into the post. And you talked about the footwork. The dream shake was terrific on the score. And I thought he did, you know, I thought he was aggressive tonight, probably trending toward the level of aggression that Nick wants to see from him more regularly, attempting 3-point shots, you know, getting the ball into the paint, you know, and then as Amy said, defensively, he's very, very solid. So you have to love what the youngster is doing. And you know, he's an integral part of what's going on here in Toronto.
All right, guys. Great stuff as always. I have to stop you there. Next game for the Raptors, Friday night in Indiana. Tip-off goes at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then Amy can come home because that is a long, long road trip, and we're looking forward to seeing you. I appreciate you guys doing this. We'll see you then.